Prince Siddhartha, once surrounded by luxury in his father's palace, grew restless when he discovered the realities of life beyond the palace gates. Sickness, old age, and death revealed themselves like shadows that could not be ignored. These visions stirred something deep within him, a yearning for truth. He understood that wealth, power, and pleasures could not protect anyone from suffering. Thus, one silent night, he left behind his crown, his family, and all worldly comforts to seek a greater truth. This was not an act of abandonment, but an act of immense compassion, for he wished to discover a path that could free not just himself, but all living beings from suffering. With shaved head and simple robes, he walked into the unknown, becoming a seeker rather than a prince. The path ahead was uncertain, but his heart burned with determination. Siddhartha immersed himself in rigorous practices with ascetics who believed that extreme self-denial could lead to liberation. He fasted until his body grew frail, meditated for endless hours under scorching sun and freezing nights, and tested the very limits of human endurance. His ribs protruded, his strength waned, yet still enlightenment eluded him. He realized that punishing the body only clouded the mind rather than freeing it. One fateful day, collapsing near a riverbank, he understood that this was not the path. Strength must be balanced with wisdom. Accepting food from a kind village girl, he regained his vitality. This was a turning point. Siddhartha embraced the middle way, neither indulgence nor denial, but harmony between body and mind. Renewed with strength and clarity, Siddhartha wandered until he arrived at a quiet grove in Bodh Gaya. There, a majestic fig tree stood tall, its branches like arms reaching toward the heavens. He felt a calling, an unspoken promise that beneath this tree, the truth would be revealed. With firm resolve, he sat upon the earth cross-legged, vowing not to rise until he discovered the end of suffering. Birds chirped softly, the wind rustled through the leaves, and the night sky glittered with silent stars. It was here, under the Bodhi Tree, that a prince became a seeker, and a seeker was destined to become a Buddha. As darkness fell, Siddhartha's mind turned inward. Breathing steady, his awareness sharpened. Memories of countless past lives unfolded before him, as though the veil of time had been lifted. He saw himself born, living, and dying again and again, carried by the endless cycle of desire and suffering. Yet with this vision, clarity grew. The threads of karma became visible, and he began to see the cause and effect that bind all beings. Hours passed, but his determination did not waver. The Bodhi Tree stood as a silent witness to the greatest inner journey the world had ever known. Sensing Siddhartha's nearing victory, Mara, the Lord of Illusion, descended with his army of demons. Thunder roared, winds howled, and terrifying shapes filled the sky. They hurled weapons of fear, anger, and desire, yet none could pierce Siddhartha's serene mind. Mara's daughters appeared, weaving spells of beauty and temptation, but Siddhartha's heart remained unmoved. With unshakable calm, he touched the earth with his right hand, calling it to witness his countless lifetimes of virtue. The earth trembled, acknowledging his truth, and Mara's illusions dissolved like mist at sunrise. The night gave way to the stillness of early dawn. Siddhartha's meditation deepened into profound clarity. He saw the Four Noble Truths emerge like jewels in his mind. Life is suffering. Suffering arises from craving. There exists a cessation of suffering, and the path leading to this cessation is the Noble Eightfold Path. In that moment, the cycle of ignorance shattered. The morning star rose in the east, and with it Siddhartha attained enlightenment. No longer was he the seeker. He had become the Buddha, the awakened one. Under the Bodhi tree, the world forever changed. The Buddha remained in stillness for days, bathing in the bliss of liberation. Nature itself seemed to rejoice. The Bodhi tree glowed with an aura, rivers flowed gently, and birds sang with new harmony. He felt no pride, only compassion. His victory was not his alone. It was for all beings caught in the net of suffering. The silence of that moment was profound, deeper than any sound, a silence that carried the truth of the universe. It was not the silence of emptiness, but of fullness, of infinite compassion. After his awakening, the Buddha traveled to Sarnath to meet his former companions. Though they once doubted him, they recognized the radiance of his presence. There, in the deer park, he delivered his first sermon. He spoke of the Four Noble Truths and the middle way, guiding them toward freedom. His words were simple, yet carried the weight of ultimate truth. The wheel of Dharma began to turn, and the path to liberation spread like ripples across a still pond. What began under a single tree would one day embrace the entire world. The story of the Bodhi Tree is not just about one man's enlightenment, it is a message for all time. The Buddha's journey reminds us that suffering is universal, but so too is the possibility of freedom. We need not be princes or sages. We only need to walk the path with sincerity. His teachings are not bound by culture, era, or creed. They are a mirror reflecting the human condition. Under the Bodhi Tree, Siddhartha discovered the truth that still speaks to us today. Peace is possible, compassion is boundless, and wisdom is the key to liberation. The Bodhi Tree still stands in Bodh Gaya, visited by seekers from every corner of the world. Its leaves rustle with the whispers of history, carrying the memory of that fateful night. Siddhartha's enlightenment was not the end of a journey, but the beginning of a legacy that continues across centuries. Each time someone chooses kindness over cruelty, mindfulness over distraction, or compassion over selfishness, the light of the Bodhi Tree shines again. The story of enlightenment is not locked in the past. It is alive, waiting for each of us to awaken. Under its branches, the world found its path, and so can we.